spoke to one of Sasha's colleagues, the inventor of the 5G Bioshield technology, to understand how it works. Just to kick things off, could you introduce yourself for us?
I am that I am. Lucky of free and sovereign domain. That is how I introduce myself always, because I know who I am, I know who I'm not, and that gives me freedom and sovereignty. We human beings, we are all spiritual beings who are...
Okay, so it might be easier if I do the introductions. Ilya Lakisevich once worked as a physicist at several high-profile institutions in Europe. But in 2003, he left mainstream science.
I did not agree with many concepts in science and went to investigate by myself. And I made a simple measurement with which I proved that the atom consists of a ring of light, like a donut, with the centering point, which is 0 point, mind, spirit, God, which is source of energy. And I understood on that base also radiation. There is no ionizing, non-ionizing radiation like in science. There is only balanced and imbalanced radiation. Are you following me?
Truth be told, I wasn't really following at all, but I thought I would have a go at trying to understand how the BioShield USB he invented works.
Yes, I have explained until now. I explained the scientific base of my invention. You should understand also, anybody should understand that is love protection. Very high frequency, the highest frequency in the universe is a frequency of love. And when you protect something with that highest frequency, nothing what is lower can penetrate it.
How do you put love into the BioShield?
My technology is made in a new energy way, simple, easy, cheap, and efficient. That is a simple sticker where I need 3 nanolayers. One nanolayer is glue, the other is PVC, and the third one is color.
Okay, so the USB stick itself is just a USB stick.
Yeah, that sticker on it, that is what is actually technology, and the USB stick is just carrier.
Got you, okay. It might surprise you to hear that this science has been peer-reviewed.
Yes, they are peer-reviewed, yes. International Journal of Science and Research.
Is it particularly expensive to publish papers there?
Usually it's between $50 and $100.
Within the scientific community, these kinds of pay-to-publish forums are known as predatory journals. They provide the veneer of being peer-reviewed, but in fact will publish almost anything for a price. Ilya Lakisevich's most recent peer-reviewed paper includes this sentence.
I used to practice sport very gladly, and I am a unique tennis coach.
So if someone says their work has been peer-reviewed, you can't just take that at face value. Even according to its inventor, the £300 BioShield is in fact just a normal USB with cheap stickers on it. And that might go some way to explaining why, since recording these interviews, trading standards have announced that they consider it to be a scam. They're working with the police to get a court order to take down the website. Sasha confirmed to me that the sticks are sold through affiliates who get a commission on each one they sell. In the UK, one of the most high-profile sellers is a man called Simon Parkes. He used to be a Labour councillor in Whitby. But that all changed after he gave an interview on ITV's This Morning where he claimed to have sex with aliens.
So what I want to do is to just give you the story about what happened. We were approached by the Russian scientists who had developed what I call phase 1 technology. That's a technology that relies on microcircuitry. I'm going to hold one up. I don't know how good this is going to come out on the camera. So here's the first, what I call the first generation. I don't know if that's going to come out, but you can see it's very easily understandable, and it is in Russian on the back there, look. So that's easy for us to, from a layperson's point of view, to see all the the diodes and the resistors, and understand that that was what we were looking at. But then we met another scientist, completely different from the Russian group, and he was very aware of this technology, but through his own separate research, he'd been working on what I call phase 2, which is a crystalline technology. Now, let's face it, we've had quartz watches for many, many years, where your normal watch contains a quartz crystal. That quartz crystal is struck by a small electric current. It counts the beats that this crystal makes, and that's very, very, very regular. And it's that quartz crystal that actually controls the timekeeping in a quartz timepiece. So for many years, the civilian side of science has been aware of the benefit of crystals from the electronic point of view. The military or secret organizations have known a lot more. Those of you who either experienced alien contact or have read very accurate accounts know that many of these off-planet species use crystal technology. The crafts that crashed in 1947 in Roswell contained a crystal array in the very front, whereas the standard jet fighter will have a phased array radar. The first group is from Russia, and this is coming from a completely different source, and this is a crystal. Now the logo on that, I approved of that. This is the temporary logo. It's actually St. George slaying the dragon. Okay, so before anybody thinks that there's any hidden meaning in this, it is literally St. George killing a reptile. So I'm sure that will go down very, very well with those of you who know me very well. So these are completely separate from the Russian sticks. I'm not promoting the Russian sticks. I'm promoting this, which I consider to be a more advanced form, because it is crystal technology that has been imprinted with a consciousness.
Common scientific concept would not understand how this works. So that is a kind of secret, and we will organize also webinars to explain all of them who are interested and open for the truth, all these concepts and new laws and concepts of creation, so that they can also maybe create something more.
I have people contacting me all the time, sending comments, emails, calling me, asking me, does this EMF protection device work? And does this sticker work? And does this shungite or orgonite work? Will it protect me? And I really want to emphasize something to all of you. Save your money. Just don't waste your money. How are any of these devices going to stop our bodies from being penetrated by microwave radiation? Think about it logically. It's so obvious. If you have a cell tower in the distance and it has a very high exposure level hitting your body with microwave radiation, do you think a little pendant or a little device on the back of your phone is going to put a big protective shield around your body and stop your body and your blood-brain barrier from being penetrated from microwave radiation? It's not going to happen. We can't go looking on the internet for every company that's selling a $1,200 EMF protection device and telling you it's protecting you for 300 yards all around you. It's a lie. The whole thing is a lie. And I really want to convince you to save your money, to not go spending money on every new EMF protection device, because I notice that even really honest people who we trust, I won't name any names, but big people who are in the business, who write books, they're selling EMF protection devices and swearing by them, and all it is another toy that's not going to protect anyone. I get calls and emails every single day from people who are suffering. And this is a very, very dark issue. The wireless issue is very dark. It's insidious. And we need to be very intelligent, very aware, and very conscious of the products we're using, that they work, that they're real, again, such as EMF shielding clothing that has high silver fiber fabric in it. That's just simply scientific. It's provable. But all these new age devices that people want to sell are highly doubtful. Save your money. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching.
They are expensive. They are more expensive than the Russian ones because the technology is greater and it's much harder to make. It's about $350 a stick. The hope is, and the belief is, that when these things are mass produced, and they intend to mass produce them, that price will come down.
No, it is exactly what it looks like. This is a USB stick. And in fact, the only surprise I had here was the fact that its total capacity maxes out at 128 megabytes. The single difference between this product and that listing is a sticker. But you know what's worse? Is that this whole operation is run by two scientists. My assumption when I first came across Bioshield was, okay, this is obviously stupid. It's probably run by two people who don't know what they're talking about. People who didn't understand the science, and people who themselves were just convinced by their own theories. But that's not what's happening here. These guys more than likely knew exactly what they were making here. And even if they somehow believed the stuff they've written on the site to start with, then surely at the point when you're on the purchasing page for a $3 USB stick, which is actually what you're about to send to customers, something must have clicked. It took me 5 minutes to find an almost identical product on AliExpress. It's the same color, it's got the same poor build quality, it's $3. This is not people being delusional. This is a very deliberate scam. Don't buy it. Please, don't buy it. And with that being
But could these products be offering people who are suffering real symptoms a placebo, and so some kind of relief? According to Dr. David Robert Grimes, trying to treat a nocebo with a placebo can actually cause real harm.
What is really important is to make sure that you're getting the right intervention, and a placebo is never going to do that. And worse than that, it's also going to give a false sense of cause and effect. And in the process, you'll be confused about your own condition and your understanding of the world.
And the Russian military wanted some form of protection when they went into the radiation field. And people laugh and joke about the Russians, but actually their scientists are pretty damn good. Pretty good. And they came up with a very interesting piece of technology that repulsed the radiation waves. And that's astounding. Now, that's been tweaked over the many years since Chernobyl, and this is a device which looks to be pretty effective at preventing the harmful side of 5G. Connecting Consciousness, the organization that I founded, has been approached, and it's been agreed that we will be a distributor for these, I'm going to call them defense. They're called a Bioshield. I think that's what Sasha's calling them, the Bioshield, 5G Bioshield. I'll just call them a defense stick, which are very portable and we can use them. Now,
and that was one of these things here, a 5G Bioshield that was being marketed, or well, being promoted by Simon and sold by other people. And then I understood that previous to that, he had been marketing this Russian technology that was with 5 patents, and somehow that they switched over to these. So I'm just introducing that here because this Russian Rezotone one can help people be protected from microwave radiation, nuclear radiation, and also psychic attack. But that's something that I think we leave for another time. But
Well,
I just wanted
There
to
is some
introduce-
input that I have to over here, because I understand that the first device that you held up purports to have some consciousness placed into the working mechanisms of it. Is that correct?
Simon said on his YouTube video when he was promoting this that they had stopped doing the other one, and this one by the Serbian professor had a crystal he referred to like crystals from the spaceships at Roswell, and that consciousness had been put into this crystal.
From a shamanic perspective, I'm looking at a piece of technology that has a non-physical component in it that's claimed as part of the integrity of how it works. You can call it consciousness, you can call it a programmed crystal. What I would say is that if you were purchasing a device to do what it is claimed to do, you would want that to come from a very clean source indeed. The thing is, there is no test that I am aware of that could be conducted on something like that to tell you exactly what is in there and in what condition it is and what influence it's meant to have on the owner of it. Because I had some people get in touch with me in relation to some of the Dreamtime scenarios that we've already mentioned, that have Simon Parkes figuring within them. And they hadn't joined Connecting Consciousness. The only thing that connected them was the fact that they had watched some videos that he put up on YouTube. So on behalf of them, I did some shamanic investigation and gave some remedy. And the shamanic investigation showed me that there are certain magical techniques which have been known to military in a number of countries, and it's called psionic magic, and this is magic that is conducted less by ritual but by pure thought transmission and embedding. And so the video that seemed to have had this impact on, certainly on the first person that contacted me in relation to it, had got a hook that had gone into their etheric field, purely from watching this video. So when you look at that style of magic, and you look at someone being able to create thought forms, and you look at the possibility of some of that becoming interlaced with artificial intelligence, I would be very careful about allowing something into my personal space, into my home, that had something in there which is being called consciousness.
I see you, because they could have put that either in somehow in the nano sticker layer, if that was possible, or in the crystal. But also you're talking about AI, and there is a small chip inside that as well, and maybe some AI could be put into that. So yes, that could be a Trojan horse in a sense, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that needs considering.
Yeah. Well, gosh, so people who've got these bioshields might have got more than they bargained for.
I was concerned I had an AI implant from the fake CC Bioshield. I went to a sound healer after 2 hours of crystal and Tibetan singing bowls. It was so amazing. I felt something left my body. The healer almost vomited. My energy is so much better now. Also, my mom and my dog had been sick, especially the dog, and we did not know why. I removed the USB yesterday and already he is much better and life has come back into his eyes. I am shocked and relieved. Now, I feel energy and didn't feel this. Stealth. Wow. Artificial intelligence is sneaky and dangerous. Interesting. I found the USB with the George and the Dragon logo one. Okay. Looks like this one without AI. It was produced first in a little portion, but the other one with the CC logo gives me the creeps even holding it. This one is with artificial intelligence. It was produced in a second and big portion, and everybody did receive this second for free, I guess, because inside it's the artificial intelligence and this is a CIA experiment. I wonder, if I smash the glass with a hammer, will it destroy the AI in it? Or how do I get rid of it safely? In April, the USB came with the Connective Consciousness logo to our home. Not before this week I've realized the effect. I've had a sore stomach since April, having been taking lots of minerals and herbs for energy and have felt under par since. Couldn't understand why. Mom's heartbeat has gone irregular. Dad has had to go on blood pressure tablets and we nearly lost the dog. Unexplained liver and gallbladder malfunction. It was only when I removed the USB out of the room. The little doggy bounced back within a couple of hours. He's still getting better, however he's eating again and chasing everything that moves, which is a good sign for him. I had no idea the sinister nature of this fake USB device from Simon, and I had to forgive myself for getting involved with this creature. Simon. He says he's a reptile, and not all reptiles are bad, and I believed him. Had no idea the deception. So many was this week. Truth sure is showing itself. I feel so blessed and grateful to receive now the real USB from Rezotone company.
This, it's a microcomputer, a flash drive microcomputer, backed up by Russian Federation of Sciences, former director of the KGB, a very good man out there, and invented by one of the greatest quantum scientists in Russia today, which I'll show you. This is going to be published and made available to everyone, so it's got a lot of background information on how this technology works. Alexander Katkov, academician of the Russian Academy of Sciences, and one of the guys behind this technology, and they want the world to have it as quickly as possible. This is a gift to the world. There are members of the military scientific community who are equally concerned, this is his quote, about the dire biological and ecological threats facing humanity with the global deployment of 5G. That's Major General Nikolai Sham, former KGB deputy chairman of the USSR. He also is putting full support behind this getting out to the world. These people know that if 5G goes live in the way it's intended, it's endgame. This is the man who invented the device, just the most extraordinary man. I've spent a bit of time speaking with him, doesn't speak a word of English. He's an engineer and a plasma physicist. Now, what we did was we sent to them examples of the most advanced mitigating technologies. You know, you're seeing them being advertised on Amazon everywhere, pendants and things that mitigate harmful radiation. Well, we sent the very best that we could find to them. He looked at them and said, well, these models are based on the emission of low frequency waves, including Schumann waves, which, according to the authors, have a beneficial effect on humans. But currently, the Schumann resonance is changing, reaching 100 hertz. Therefore, this technique was good 10 years ago. The first harmonic of 7.8 hertz, now it does not work at all. It's just a placebo. So be aware, I'm not trying to diss people who are in the good business of shungite and orgonite and all the rest of these remediation and mitigation technologies, but look a lot more closely than you do, folks. We're moving into a different hypersphere of reality right now, and we need if we're going to have a technological advantage against that, it's got to be a lot more refined than the stuff we've been using. He goes on to say, our plasmoids, which are coupled to an entanglement with the meta-consciousness force, adapt to a changing environment on their own, fundamentally different methods. Yes, he's talking about extraterrestrial, because ET intelligences have been working with these scientists for a long, long time. Benevolent, hyperdimensional intelligences. That's what it's called in Russian. They refer to it as rational intelligence, because that is the benevolent, non-terrestrial, hyperdimensional intelligence is indeed very, very rational. It's not subjective. It's not in a state of psycho-emotional hysteria. It's rational intelligence, and they have a word for it. The process of this key is that of converting harmful radiation into useful radiation. The radiation itself does not disappear, but is converted into another form. Detailed experiments on reducing the magnitude of the signal from a microwave source in the range of 1 to 20 giga, on which the structure we created was shown, showed the minimum signal decrease was 14 and the maximum was 54. Okay? When turned off, the radius of action is reduced to the size of the person, which is why you can pull it out the wall or out of the USB port, walk around with it. It's creating a smaller shield, not as big as the one when it's plugged in. But the truth of the matter is, it's powered up on your energy. You don't ever need to charge it in a wall if you just want to carry it on your person. It will constantly have this charge. And we've got laboratories in Switzerland and Germany and Spain this week and last week and the week before running the diagnostics and analytics. They are blown away. This is the new science, people. You're the first to hear about it. The effect is not limited to EMF. There is a powerful positive effect on all physiological and geobiological parameters. I'm going to move on quicker. That's more or less what you're looking at. That is classic coherence, biotransmutation response to 5G, from that to that. Now that is a photograph, the first time it's ever been shown, I believe. You're seeing it here. That is the intelligence in the laboratory that has been working with this group of goodly scientists, backed up again by the Russian Federation of Sciences, all of them the most highly accredited academics you can imagine. And yes, they are happy for the world to know that they are indeed dealing with benevolent extraterrestrial intelligences.